What's up my people, H here back with another YouTube video. Today we're doing a burger review of the best burger in Kensington. It's a really close walk, it's like a 10-minute walk. I'm just gonna run over, grab my burger, and then we'll get started with the review. As you know from my other reviews, we always review the same burger just to keep it fair. So we'll be getting another double cheeseburger today with no onions and no tomatoes, just lettuce, cheese, patty, sauce vibes. Without further ado, let's go pick up our burger. Woo! So we're still in lockdown obviously, so masks on. Stay protected, stay safe. The best rated burger in my area is the Fresh Prince of Burgertory. So we're just gonna see what they've got to offer. You guys got really lucky today. We don't get a lot of sun in Melbourne, but the sun's come out for this burger review. What a gorgeous day, look at this. So because Melbourne's still in lockdown as well, we've got to do takeaway orders only. For anyone that doesn't know, Melbourne is the most locked down city in the world. So obviously the place we're going to, Fresh Prince of Burgertory, is only open for takeaway right now. Hopefully, once we're out of lockdown, all my reviews will be sit down, dine in. But for now, takeaway is the best we can do. Can I just get a sloth with no tomatoes and no onions, please? Could I also get a side of chips and onion rings, please? What's like your most popular sauce?
Tuna sauce.
Can I get just one of those as well? Thank you. Mission accomplished. While I'm waiting for my food, make sure to support your local businesses as well. You know, everyone's been struggling through COVID, so you got to make sure to support where you can, don't forget. So we've secured the bag. They're really quick. That probably took like maximum 10 minutes, honestly, for my burger. And I ordered like a burger and 2 sides, and I'm pretty happy with that speed. Price isn't something I really talk about much on this channel, but for a double cheeseburger and fries and onion rings, it was $32, which is honestly pretty good. So I ordered 1 side of onion rings. The onion rings that fall out in the bag are the best onion rings. No one can say anything else. Don't at me about that. These are already amazing. Cinnamon sauce, fries. Wow. These are really good. Fries, burger. For my burger, I ordered the sloth with no tomatoes and no onions. Tomatoes in my cheeseburgers are just not it because they just like soggy it out and I'm not a fan. They're always cold and wet, which is just like not what I want in my burger. The lettuce I can get away with because it's like a nice fresh break from the burger, but it doesn't like overkill it with the coldness. So I always have lettuce in mine. The meat looks to be a little bit overflowing. So in terms of construction, not the best, but there's only one way to find out how good this burger is. There we go. Beautiful. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the first bite. A good burger. That's yum. So I'm just gonna get all the big lettuce chunks out of the way. Cheese. Perfectly melted. The sauce, really good. It's really nice and spicy. I really like how spicy the sauce is. I haven't had a spicy double cheeseburger in a long time. Usually they're all pretty like, just like greasy and cheesy, but there's no like spice to it. Whereas this is good. I like the jalapenos they added. It's a decent sized burger as well. Like it's a good portion. This will definitely fill me up, I think. That's yum. Onion rings. A must have. Really good. With a lot of onion rings, you get a lot of places that do like huge onion rings, but they're like 80% batter. This is like an average sized onion ring, but if you look, it's like onion in there and it's just onion and batter. It's not just batter with the side of onion, you know what I mean? Perfectly salted, delicious. Now let's try out this cinnamon sauce. It's like a sweet spice sauce, like a spicy sweet. Maybe chipotle. It's good though. Sloth burger, certified. It's checking all the right boxes. I wouldn't say it's the best burger I've ever had, but I can't fault it. I don't know why it's not the best, but there's nothing wrong with it. It's just an overall very strong burger. But yeah, like I said at the beginning with the first few bites, a major issue I have is they put a lot of lettuce. Like there was a lot of just like excess lettuce that like added to the taste, but in terms of like texture and aesthetic, it was too much to look at and just kind of killed the whole cheeseburger vibe. Also because when you add that much lettuce, it cools the whole burger down as a whole. If they didn't have as much lettuce inside it, then the cheese would have melted a lot better and the sauce would have been more compressed with the cheese, and it just would have made it an all-round better burger. In terms of construction, I usually have lettuce on the bottom. So when I make burgers, I do bun, toasted of course, sauce, lettuce, patty, both of them have cheese already melted on them. And then the other side of the bun will also have sauce laid across it, and then on top, finish it off. Beautiful. Yum. It's really good, but I can see some improvements that can be made. But I've definitely had worse burgers from places that claim to have better burgers, you know what I mean? Yum. These are some of the best onion rings I've had in my life though, to be honest. Brutally honest, really good onion rings. And the chips also really yummy. I love the salt they use, and the sauce really adds to it as well. Sauce is beautifully balanced. Also, they gave me so many onion rings. There's like at least 15 in here, man. I already had like 5 and there's still a bajillion onion rings left. Now for the chips. I know I've already had them, but like I've just been eating them. I haven't like critically analyzed each bite. So just from the appearance, they look not too dry. The absorption looks there because you can see they've seasoned it, and the seasoning is staying on extremely well. It's not just like falling off, and otherwise the bag would just have all the salt and pepper and stuff at the bottom and all the seasoning at the bottom, which wasn't the case. Instead you have this beautifully oiled chip to absorb all the spices. Amazing. Phenomenal. Look at that. That's just like only potato. There is no corruption. No oil has reached past the surface. There is no oil creeping into that potato. It's just crispy outside, potato inside, which is what the perfect chip should be. And just beautifully seasoned. Honestly, beautifully seasoned. And although you have the odd crispy chip, the odd crispy chip makes the whole box of chips even better. Crispy chips are the best, but I couldn't do a whole thing of them. When you get a surprise crispy chip or like a surprise curly fry, crazy. It intensifies the meal by 1,000,000. The thing with the chips are, they're almost like the first bite is almost like a little bit lemony, which is so dope. It's just like the first bite is so refreshing, and then you're like, oh yeah, the heartwarming potato kicks in. But the first bite is just like a pop of flavor. Okay. See, like this is a big boy, but this big boy is a big onion. It's not like they're overcompensating their small onion with crazy crumbing. And also you get a lot of onion rings where you take one bite and then the onion just like gets pulled out the whole way around. Whereas this one, you take a bite and the onion just like cuts straight up. There's no pulling and gnawing and trying to get the perfect bite because each bite is perfect. I'm hyping this place up a lot, but it's not the best burger I've ever had. The chips are up there with some of the best chips I've had in terms of from a burger place. Onion rings, also top class onion rings. You hear that crunch? That was gorgeous. I don't know how I'm gonna rate these, man. The bar is already pretty high for chips and onion rings and burgers. I've tried some amazing stuff out there, but I can't see myself eating these chips or these onion rings and being like, these are bad, I want those other ones. Or like, I want the onion rings and chips from those other places. Because these are really good. Whereas with the burger, I can see myself, I'm like, oh, I'd rather have a burger from there. But the onion rings and fries, obviously, there are different types. Like if I was to go to Shake Shack and they have like the Wrigley fries, those are really good because they're really soft and the potato content is there and like you taste every bit of potato. So it's different to like a chip like this, where it's just like a crispy chip. Here we have one bad chip, corrupted by oil, like the US. Oil corrupts the best of us. I couldn't even finish it. The portion for the fries and onion rings was so generous, I simply couldn't finish it. Which is really good. Thank you, Fresh Prince of Burgertory. The worst thing in the world is when you finish a burger or your chips or something and you're like, wow, I wish I had more. Like, I really want more. So it's really nice to have a meal that like properly fills you up and leaves you wanting more but physically not able to eat more, which is how they left me. If you haven't already, make sure to check out Fresh Prince of Burgertory on Instagram. I'll put the link in the description below. I'll also put their website in so you can check them out online. They do online deliveries as well. If you're nearby, make sure to give them an order. Let me know what you think. If you've tried Fresh Prince of Burgertory before, let me know in the comments what your rating was. I'd really love to hear what you guys thought. Now let's go on to the fun part, the rating. For me, the burger was really enjoyable. I've had better burgers in my life, as I've said. But in saying that, I still could not fault it. It wasn't the best burger in the world, but it was still top quality. The meat was really juicy, the cheese was perfectly melted, the sauce complemented it really well. The bun was perfectly toasted, really nice, really warm. Really enjoyable burger. The meat was just so soft and it was really nice biting through it. The only issue was the lettuce for me. It had a bit too much lettuce. That kind of just like brings the level of the burger down a lot, because for me, I think if there's too many cold ingredients or too much of one cold ingredient in there, then it kind of just like brings the whole burger temperature down. So like the cheese on top of the patty that was melted perfectly would kind of just like not be melted as much, and the sauce that would have been like perfectly meshed with the cheese, maybe it would be a bit separated. So stuff like that is what I would call them out on, and that mostly came from the lettuce. Other than that, I did think it was really good. If I was to give it a rating, I'd have to go 8 out of 10 for the burger. Now on to the onion rings. The onion rings were sublime. They were ridiculous. I've never had onion rings that good in my life, that tasted that fresh, but also with that generous in terms of portion and onion to crumbing ratio. You bite into them and it's just like the tiniest bit of onion with like majority just like crumbing, whereas with these ones, it was literally even. Like there was no more crumbing on the onion rings than necessary, which is really good. It's really nice to not have to like bite through all this oil and crumbs and all of that just to get to the onion. And it's really annoying when you get to the onion, it slips out and it's just like going all over the place, coming out of the ring and all the rest of it. But this one, perfect. Onion came straight off. Really easy to bite into, really enjoyable. Onion rings, I'd have to go 9 out of 10, honestly. I don't know what it would take to get them to a 10, but I just don't think that was a 10. 9.5. I'll give them a 9.5 out of 10 because they were really good. Now on to the fries. The fries were seasoned beautifully. Majority of them were cooked beautifully as well. No oil seeping through the surface, but the oil on the surface was beautiful in terms of allowing the seasoning to be absorbed into the chip, which was so nice. It was really enjoyable. There were a few corrupted chips. I won't hold it against them because no one's perfect, but it will affect my rating. For the chips, I'd have to say a strong 8 out of 10. Strong 8 out of 10. And finally, the cinnamon sauce. The cinnamon sauce was bang average. I'd say the cinnamon sauce is what you'd expect from any like standard burger shop. Changing the name isn't going to change how it tastes, so it's basically just chipotle mayo probably. There was a nice little sour spice to it, which really complemented the chips well and the onion rings as well. So yeah. Cinnamon sauce, I'm not really going to give it a rating because I feel like burger sauces are pretty standard, but it was good. They chose well in terms of what they've got on their menu. As always, I've been AH. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you know every time I post. Sending peace, love, and positivity always. I'm out.